Good morning, traders. Welcome to Beyond Profile. Today's Monday, March 4th, 2011. Market's slightly higher from Friday's close, and we're not over the highs, though. We're pushing closely back up to it. We've got a couple areas here we were focusing in on Friday. The second area was that 36 level, and then, of course, for the year's highs at 38 quarter, looking at that. And seeing if we can't continue to push higher here in these markets. I mean, they've come a long ways from the 1242 area, actually 1238 when we hit this, I'm sorry, 1243, 42 level. And we've come a long way. You can see the 2-month profile over here on the right-hand side where all of the volume was building over the last few sessions here was 1310, and then of course we pushed up on Friday with good job number, and then late in the day we had a little mini sell-off this morning. You can see we're actually engulfing the real body from Friday's candle already. So we're going to be opening up here. Question is do we, start to see some supply coming in here? I'm focused kind of in this one area here. I really like to see the market come back down and get this gap filled here at this 1350 area. You can see there's actually a little bit of a divot also here at the top of it would be 1320. I'd like to see him come back, fill this gap before taking off and making new highs. It almost gives us an opportunity to get on and play it all the way to that 1340 and beyond from that area if they could come back into that. We'll have to see this morning to see what's going on. It's pretty narrow. I mean, there's not a lot going on in the markets overnight. I think the only thing that was nice was the euro when we were trading that short on Friday. It actually did get to the target here. Let's look at that. Here it is on Friday. If you remember we shorted on those 42s. 42.22 was our short entry on the euro. And remember we said 41.65, 68 area would be the target objective. I think 68 was the actual point of control. We came down into that, you can see here in the overnight session. Still made a higher high though, and the question is this going to be a topping tail that's going to fail up here and we're going to auction back down? You can see the 2-month profile also on the Euro's got some really good volume here at 41.17 area, built up nicely in that profile. And again, building an acceptance area, you could almost say for the short term here, we have an acceptance of a value area that would be existent on this location right there. All right. You can see what relatively equal highs, relatively equal lows, auctioning back and forth within a range, just like what we had here before we broke higher. Remember, market has those two phases of balance and imbalance, and when we have acceptance of value, a market will continue to auction within that range until it is disturbed by the supply and demand coming into the marketplace. Either, obviously, in this situation, more acceptance of a higher price, so people are willing to pay up at a higher level, because they felt that the euro was worth a lot more than even at the whole number here of 40s. So we have a new balance area building here, and that's sort of the way that the euro trades. It'll trade back and forth, in a range of balance here, and then it'll break out to an imbalanced state. We'll get acceptance of it. We'll begin to auction back and forth again, and that's sort of what we've got going on. So this one's going to be actually interesting. This candle from Friday has a lot of imbalanced state back down. If you look at this in a smaller time frame, let's look at that on a 60-minute. Here's a 30-minute. If you look at the imbalanced state that you have here, and look at this thing, how this went up. There's virtually nothing in here. It was a V-pivot reversal off that low from the 40-40 area straight up. Made new highs. There's the topping tails outside of that area, and you can see that we have this area of almost, we could draw a small acceptance of value up here even after testing these close to these 60s here. We could go like something like this here. All right, and if this doesn't make a new higher high and this starts to fail here at 14.22 again, we may be looking for the short side, because this has got a lot of imbalance. There's not going to be a lot of demand in this thing until we get all the way back down to these levels here. So that could be a good, that was the move that we were playing on Friday. All right. Of course, crude oil, you can see what's going on here. New highs, continuation, a couple topping tails in here from Friday, and then the open last night. Maybe in store for a pullback in that. Watch that. I mean, that's, obviously we took out, everybody was saying we got to watch for this prior high to be taken out, the 107s. Well, we took it out now, and the question is, are we going to continue to run higher in oil, or are we going to pull back into that prior balance area and break down? Remember, 0550s was a big number for us. That was on the monthly profile, and we got through it, and off to the races we ran. So we'll keep an eye on oil up here too, because if this is a failed probe to the top side, there's no follow through, we'll pull back inside of this blue box, and we'll begin to auction back down through the range again. Okay, folks, that's kind of the update. Kind of like I said, quiet morning so far. We'll have to see what we get, if we get some supply coming in at the open or not, or if they're going to just continue to buy this market and take it higher. Well, then we'll participate in the same manner. Have a great trading day. We'll see you in the room.